Hello and welcome back to the ZGuy programming channel, Python edition. Today's topic will be loan calculation. Yes, we are going to take the many concepts already introduced in previous videos and put them together to create a fully functioning loan calculator. While it is not a function that everybody uses regularly, just about everybody can benefit from having access to a loan calculator when you're getting ready to buy a car, buy a house, um, and many other things that you put on loan. So we're going to use Python to develop this application. This first version will be a very basic version. It will provide all the necessary output. The follow-up video to this will enhance the basic application with better formatting and will provide the user with additional information regarding the ongoing status of their loan over time. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the very first thing we're going to have to do in our loan calculator is we're going to have to get some information from the user to determine the various parameters of their loan. We're going to need to know how much is the loan going to be, how long is this loan going to take to pay off in months, and what is the annual percentage rate being charged for this loan. So what you can see on the screen here is we've created a input val equal to raw input, and we use the text enter loan amount. Then we take that input value, convert it using the float function, and assign it to the variable loan amount. Then we do that for the next two things. We get the term in months. This time we convert input val into an integer and assign it to loan term. Then we ask for the annual percentage rate, or APR, and for example, if your interest rate is 5.25%, you're going to enter 5.25. And again, that input value is then converted to a float and assigned to the value loan APR. The next step in our application is that we're going to have to convert this APR into a monthly rate. So the way you do that is you take your percentage rate, for example 5, divided by 100 to get it into a decimal. So 5% is shown as 0.05. Divide that by 12 and that gives us our monthly rate. So here we calculate periodic interest rate equals our loan APR divided by 100 to get it into decimal format, divided by 12 to divide that into equal amounts for each month. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is some basic calculations to determine our monthly payment. Now the first thing we do is we assign loan amount to the variable balance. Now, the reason I do that is our balance decreases every month. So this balance number is going to keep changing with every month that we calculate. And I don't want to use the loan amount number to do that. Even though in this particular application we don't use loan amount, later on in the program again, we could, if this was a larger application, want to refer back to that original loan amount. And if we used it in our balance calculations as a decrementing number, then we would not be able to get back to that original number again. So we just assign balance that value of loan amount. Then we go through some calculations to determine what our monthly payment's going to be. And I'm not going to get into the math behind that. You can certainly look that up on the internet. There's lots of references to how to calculate loans. I will tell you that this asterisk operator is raising something to the power of. So this is x to the power of loan term. Okay, that's what that means. All right, now we're going to go down, and when we display the monthly payment, floating point numbers typically have many decimal places, and we don't want to display a lot of decimal places. It'll make the readout very, very difficult to look at. So a three-step process can convert a floating point number with an unknown number of decimal places to a known number of decimal places. And in our instance, we want to go to 2 decimal places. So the first thing we do is we take our float value, which just for example would be 149.6832. We multiply it by 100, and take the integer portion of that, which leaves us with 14,968. Then we divide by 100 to move our decimal place back, and we get 149.68. So just like we said, just discard those last digits, and we end up with 149.68. So here's the math for that. Our monthly payment displayed value is equal to monthly payment times 100 divided by 100, and then take the, well, we take the integer portion of the payment times 100, then we take that and divide by 100 to get back to 2 decimals. Then finally, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to print some headers for our table that we're going to print out many months of information, and these are our column headings. What month is it? What's our payment for the month? How much interest are we paying this month? What's the principal that we're paying off this month? And what's the balance on our loan? Okay, now we're going to get into what we'll call the meat of the program. We're going to create a for loop. Our incrementing variable will be x, and we're going to loop from 1 to loan term plus 1. Now if you remember, a for loop executes from 1 to less than x, x being loan term. So if loan term was 36 months and we did not put the plus 1 here, we would only get a loan from 1 through 35. So in order to get that last month, we have to add 1 to this loan term. Now again, we could have said loan term equals loan term plus 1. We could have added 1 there. The reason I didn't do that is basically for the same reasons I didn't change loan amount as our balance decrements. We may want to use the value loan term later on in the program, and I don't want to mess with its entered value from the user, so we just add the plus 1 in the for statement. Okay, then our for statement jumps down. It does a calculation to determine how much of our monthly payment goes towards principal. And then the next thing we do is chop off those extra decimal points, and we create a new variable called monthly principal display. Then we calculate the interest portion of our payment, reduce it to 2 decimal places with a new variable, monthly interest payment display. Then we calculate the new balance and reduce it to 2 decimal places, and then we print X, which is our payment month. What's our monthly payment, our monthly interest payment, our monthly principal, and our balance. Once it completes this, it goes back up to the top, increments X by 1, and goes through all the calculations again. It continues to do that for however months the user has selected for their loan. So this is really all that there is in here. Let's go ahead and save this as loan1.py. Open up your console window and let's execute that. Let's do a loan amount of $5,000 for 3 years, 36 months. And let's do a 5% interest rate. Okay, we can scroll back to the top here, and we can see we printed out the months, or the column headings, and then 1 line for every month of our loan. As I said before, this is the basic application. It's not pretty, but all the information that we need is there. All the columns are there. 36 months worth of information was displayed. Our next video, we're going to take this application, we're going to rework it a little bit to make the display prettier and add some additional information for the user. So I hope this is useful to you, something you can use in real life, as well as a tool to help you understand a little bit better about how to put a small program together using the concepts that we've learned in our previous videos. Alright, so hopefully I'll get this next video up really quick and you'll be able to move right into that one and enjoy your Python and programming.